Wide receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones was a nice little pleasant surprise. He set career highs in targets, receptions, receiving yards, air yards, and fantasy points per game. He was a player that I said going into 2022, Donovan Peoples-Jones might rival Amari Cooper in fantasy points. And look, he didn't get into that mid-pack wide receiver 2 range very much at all, but Donovan Peoples-Jones 19% target share, that's respectable. Is 40th among wide receivers. He is 47th in fantasy points per game. He had some nice deep targets. He was 21st in deep targets and 29th in target separation. So he was getting space down the field. Just a lot of unrealized air yards. And he's just not a very good overall wide receiver. But in a team that's desperate for a wide receiver too, Donovan Peoples-Jones was running on the outside. And yeah, unfortunately, there are reasons to be hesitant. I don't think Peoples-Jones has secured his role as the wide receiver too. There is a possibility that the Browns go outside a free agent or they draft a second round wide receiver to compete with Peoples-Jones, or maybe David Bell takes a step forward in year two. Whatever it is, I'm not secure with Donovan Peoples-Jones as the wide receiver two going into 2023. He's being drafted as the wide receiver 52, ADP 113 overall in the 10th round. And I feel like that's just too rich for me when even when he was given a 19% target share, he only had a 12% weekly flex rate. That was 68th among wide receivers. 0% top 10 weekly rate. Give me a guy who's going to spike a little bit more. And maybe the Deshaun Watson factor and taking a step forward is going to help Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm just not convinced. I'm not willing to buy into the ambiguity of a team where we know Nick Chubb is going to be the focal point of this offense. And the Browns love to run the ball. They were sixth in rush attempts per game. So Donovan Peoples-Jones, I'm not buying in at wide receiver 52. He's going to have to drop precipitously for me to take some shots on him, even in the most desperate of best ball streets.